Hi, today we've reached Gill Park and Gardens, and we're here to explore what this iconic Toronto park can offer. We can hear music from some kind of event that is being held here. We're approaching the first gate of the garden area of the park. In the background there's an Indian wedding happening, so we can hear the music playing from that. This is my first time here to Gill Park. It looks quite beautiful. On one side we can see there's a woody area. On the other we can see the gardens. There are some beautiful blocks placed on one on top of the other. The iconic Gill Park columns that we see in so many photos of this park are there in the distance. We'll get a little closer to those in just a bit. Well, here's a plaque showing Royal Conservatory of Music from Music Hall. A portrait of Dr. Healy Willan and Sir Ernest Macmillan on the other side there. And of course, surrounding the gardens, something that looks like a bear, a polar bear cut out of stone right over there. Here's what appears to be a swan nestled between these flowers, chrysanthemums here. And let's go and see what else is over here. We've got a few more statues, another gate. All of these structures were actually salvaged from buildings that were demolished in downtown, and artists brought them here and set them up. For example, here we can see something that shows built in 1903. So the structures incorporated here are like over 100 years old. And here's another one. As you can see, it's showing established 1832. So this one was brought in from a very, very old building, probably from the downtown area that got torn down. Okay, so now we're approaching the iconic columns of this park. Really beautiful. I kind of feel as though I'm back somewhere in Greece. And over here, we can see some other figures sculptured in. Would have been nice to have some plaques indicating where these actually came from. All the same, they're very beautiful. Look at this one. Coat of arms. See a beaver, steamship, 3 lions. What looks like grain. Over here, another coat of arms. This figure here looks a little bit like Zeus. Is there anything behind? No, nothing much else. Some of the trees have started to change color. The weather has truly become pretty cold today. It's around 4 degrees centigrade. Look at the structures over here along this path. The trees have just started changing color here. Kind of like a light yellow with some brilliant red at the back over there. It's a very tranquil place to be. Okay, I can see a cannon over there. Lots of squirrels. Even a log cabin. I have a bell over here. So all these were kind of laid down by artists from demolished Toronto buildings. Let's check out what the plaque says over here. In memory of Elizabeth Fraser Williamson, sculptor in residence at the Guild, 1970 to 1995. A lover of nature, sculpting from the deep flow of life. It's a very touching plaque. I don't know if you can get this, but just look at the color on that tree there. It's a maple tree. In this setting, it's so beautiful, isn't it? The cannon is over there in the distance. We'll go there for a bit. Just wanted to check out this cabin first. So it's called the Osterhout Log Cabin, the oldest building in Scarborough, built in 1795 by Augustus Jones, who was commissioned by John Graves Simcoe, first Lieutenant Governor of Upper Canada, to survey Scarborough. William Osterhout later received the first crown grant of the land from King George III in 1805. Okay, let's check it out. So, this is the kind of building the early settlers in Canada used to live in. And it's hard to believe this building is almost 200 years old. Pretty interesting. And it's all surrounded by a lot of woodland. So this is the kind of log cabin that the first settlers of Canada used to live in. It appears to be a blue jay. And what looks a little bit like a magpie, but I'm not sure what the other bird is. Squirrel is also coming in. Well, I thought this was a cannon. Looks like some kind of flywheel now that we're approaching it. It says R Patch Manufacturing Co. Rutland VT. There's a plaque here. Let's check it out. Flywheel, crank and drive pulley of stone gang saw for cutting slabs from quarried blocks of stone or marble. Flywheel added its momentum to motor power on cutting stroke of blades. In earlier days, silica, sand and water were used, then steel shot and finally diamond studded teeth. Well, it's kind of started to rain here, but one of the interesting features of Guild Park is that it's right on the shore of Lake Ontario. So I'm just walking over to the shore area to see what kind of views we can have. Okay, that's very beautiful. We're kind of at the top of what is called the Scarborough Bluffs. Let me get closer. And there we go. Right through the gap in the trees, you can see Lake Ontario. Kind of looks as though the lake and the sky have become the same color. Might be a little difficult for you to distinguish. Let's see. Here's another view of the lake, glistening in contrast at the distance there. Looks like a silver band of water in the distance. I'm kind of wondering whether this path will lead down to the shores of the lake. It's worth exploring, so I'm going there. We are kind of on the top of the bluffs, so there are plenty of signs indicating and telling people not to go near the edge. Here's a very beautiful view of the lake in the distance over there. And of course there's some signage warning people not to go to the edge of these cliffs. Oh, this is a very beautiful view of the lake, relatively unobstructed by any of the trees. Wow, what a stunning view. Just look at the sky and the play of light on the lake. The Guild Inn was built in 1914 as a white stucco arts and crafts style mansion, originally surrounded by over 400 acres of gardens and woodlands. The residence was built for Colonel Harold C. Bickford, a decorated war hero. When Rosa Brithaught and Hewetson purchased the property in 1932, shortly before her marriage to Spencer Clark, the socially conscious couple decided to model their new property into the Canadian equivalent of Roycroft in East Aurora, New York, considered to be the center of the arts and craft movement at the time. The site provided a home and a forum for artists and artisans where their work was created and collected for the enjoyment of many. Many of the artists were contemporaries of students or members of the Group of Seven, and influence can be seen in the work they produced. During World War II, the Canadian government requisitioned the property and turned it into a training base for the Women's Royal Naval Service. The hotel also served as a military hospital for victims of shell shock, with the craft facilities providing therapeutic rehabilitation for the service personnel undergoing treatment here. The Clarks returned to the property in 1947. For the next 35 years, the Clarks built a reputation as patrons of the arts and preservationists, amassing a huge art collection and preserving architectural fragments from dozens of demolished buildings. The property and the architectural fragments were sold to the Toronto Region Conservation Authority in 1978 to be maintained as a public park. Spencer Clark continued to run the hotel until 1983, when a board of management was formed to oversee the operations. Look at the view from this point. It's so beautiful. The lake shining underneath. Well, is it worth visiting the Guild Park and Gardens? I think it is. The Follies alone are really something worth exploring because they represent so much of Toronto's history. On the other hand, the wooded areas out skirting the more formal gardens are very beautiful. You get fantastic views of Lake Ontario from the top of the bluffs. There is another path that actually leads down to Lake Ontario, but due to the bad weather that day, we really didn't try going down because it was a little slippery and muddy. But maybe on a later visit, we'll see how that works. And yes, if you do get the chance, please do visit the Guild Park and Gardens. It really is worth the try. It's a nice place to even have a picnic, bring the family over, enjoy the day. So do come when you get the chance. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment to our channel.